Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Note to Self. In today's episode, I'm going to be speaking into feelings of feeling drained and feeling trapped. And I'm specifically going to use the example of your career or your job or where you spend time creating financial resources for yourself. And the reason for this theme is because I'm moving into the launch of my signature program, the Digital Nomad Academy. This is my biggest program. It has an incredible high level of support to it, and it's so inspiring and so much fun. I'm actually hosting a free masterclass on Friday called The Rich Life, which is all the insights around being a digital nomad. If you're somebody who's just curious, maybe you don't necessarily want to travel the world, but you're curious about creating online income for yourself, being your boss, or expanding in different ways, or just opening yourself up to a new realm of possibilities, I would love to see you there. You can save your seat through the link below, and if you can't make the masterclass live, you'll be emailed the replay. So I can't wait to see you all there. It's truly my favorite season, just expanding everyone's realm of possibilities when it comes to their lives, their freedom, and how they can create more fun and more finances. The theme of the Digital Nomad Academy is more fun, more freedom, more finances. So yeah, those are the vibes. But anyways, let's get into today's topic, which is the feeling of feeling drained or feeling trapped. And I specifically want to use the example of jobs because I know throughout my corporate marketing career, which was a few years in length, but I switched jobs 3 times. And at the time that was happening, I remember that I was always evolving and I always felt like, I have fulfilled or learned as much as I can learn in this position. I'm ready to expand. And then, got reached out to on LinkedIn or received a new opportunity, or things just started to happen and I moved jobs. And if I'm thinking in regards to the collective, I think that a lot of us grew up with the examples from our parents or perhaps our grandparents where you pick one job or one career and you stick with that for a lifetime potentially, or for many, many years, like decades even. And I just want to normalize that if you feel like you are growing and expanding and you're presently finding yourself in a career or a job that doesn't necessarily feel like it uplifts and fulfills you in ways, that's okay. We are ever evolving multidimensional human beings, so it's natural that as we grow and expand that we're going to be looking for different ways in which we are learning and expanding on the external. So if something no longer is fulfilling you in your life, and this is not just for a job, you can apply this to anything, but if something is no longer uplifting, fulfilling, inspiring, if you're not feeling like you're growing, right? As human beings, you may have heard this quote, if you're not growing, you're dying. It's a little bit morbid, but as humans, like if we don't feel like we're growing, we can naturally find ourselves feeling funky, even feeling depressed. So I'm here to inspire you and uplift you that if you do presently find yourself feeling drained in any area of life or just uninspired, there's always an opportunity that is there for you, right? The opportunity could be, maybe I'm just going to open up my realm of possibilities and see what's possible. Maybe there's a different interest, a passion project. Maybe there is a next level in my career that I can start to reach for. So wherever you might find yourself, again, drained or feeling trapped, I want to just focus in on that a little bit more. As human beings, we feel the essence or that heaviness around feeling trapped when we don't actually feel that we have a conscious choice in the matter. For myself, I know that when I lived in Toronto and I was going to a marketing agency job where I was working excessive hours, I was definitely not paid for enough for my work, and the city was quite expensive, and I just felt like I was literally going to work to pay my bills with very little left over and very little opportunity for adventure. Like I've always loved to travel. I always wanted to see the world, but I just felt like I can't really see how I can live out my dreams or my potential being in this place. And I feel like I sort of have to show up every day in order to make ends meet. And that was definitely true at the time. Like I had taken on a couple of freelance gigs, and at this time when I was living in Toronto, I had just started my YouTube channel. And in that year of for those of you who don't know my story, I'll give a little bit of a backstory on it. You can definitely find more information about this on my podcast I've shared, or my YouTube channel. But I was in an abusive relationship, and within the year of getting out of that relationship and like living on my own, I had lived with my ex at that time, and I had moved into a house in Toronto with essentially strangers, but it all ended up working out. But in that year, I really did a lot of work on myself, and I knew the contrast, right? I knew the contrast from feeling trapped, let's say, in a relationship to having my freedom again. And then so I was picking up on ways in which I felt like, this job, like this sort of scenario or this hustle that I'm involved in, like I just don't really see a way out, and a way out in regards to like my expansion or my potential, because taking a look around and like literally like looking at people's LinkedIn profiles and saying like, oh, you're just supposed to climb the marketing ladder, and then maybe you'll be lucky if you get an extra week vacation time per year and you can go take that vacation. But I had such a longing for a different type of lifestyle, a lifestyle where, no, I can live in a different country and I can slow travel and I can like have very rich cultural experiences, because that's what I want. Like that's what lights me up. And I'm not feeling like, again, like I have a conscious choice in this matter. At the time, I was watching a couple of people on YouTube travel the world and essentially make money doing it. I had started my YouTube channel when I got out of my abusive relationship, and I started to make a little bit of money online. And that was enough to really start to get me to question, like, do I have to stay in this sort of corporate world for long? Or like, can I actually make a leap of faith? Can I actually do that? Anyways, for those of you who might not know the story, I went home from work one day. I literally remember crying walking home from work downtown Toronto. Like I remember having my sunglasses on and just feeling like so again trapped and drained. Like I am just not in an environment that I feel supports me. I feel my body just contracting every day. I don't feel like I'm around kindness, honestly, and I don't feel like I'm being treated ethically. And what ended up happening was I just decided to buy a one-way ticket to Rome, which I bought on my credit card for 3 months out. And once I bought that ticket, I'm telling you, the freedom that I felt. I'm not recommending go buy a ticket on your credit card or anything like that for anyone, but I'm just trying to like tell you about, the shift of when it was like, I decided to choose for myself. I decided to choose that I could have a different reality, and I was willing to do the work. I was willing to put in the effort to make that happen. So fast forward, 3 months out, I ended up moving to Rome, Italy. And because I had minimal freelance clients, and I was making a small amount on YouTube, it was definitely not enough to sustain myself living in Rome. So I au paired. I au paired for 10 months, which means that I quit my corporate marketing job and decided to nanny. And there was a lot of judgment. There was a lot of resistance from people in the external being like, I'm sorry, you're doing what? Like, you have a job that so many people would like kill for your age to be working at an agency. But I'm telling you guys, it just wasn't for me. And so for any of you out there, I hope that I'm speaking to the person who needs to hear this, of like, you don't have to stay. You don't have to stay in a relationship that feels trapping. Like I explained, I was in an abusive relationship and I felt very trapped. You don't have to stay in a career or a job or in a workplace that has you feeling drained, that does not contribute to your life force in a positive way, your life force energy. So anyways, I made the leap to Rome and I au paired and I took on freelance gigs, and I'm telling you, I had the adventure of my life, and it really has been such an adventure ever since. Like I've landed in different locations over time. Like I was in Rome for 3 years. I moved to Toronto back to Toronto for 2 to get my life coaching certification. And then I moved to Bali for about 2 years. And then I've been fully nomadic, traveling the world for the last 1.5 years. And I just want you to know that it's possible. I just want you to know that if you're feeling drained or trapped, it's because there's a part of you that doesn't feel like you have conscious choice. As human beings, the second when we can recognize, oh, I actually have a choice. Like I'm telling you, when I bought that plane ticket, that was me deciding that I had a different choice and I was choosing differently, and I was choosing for myself. So anywhere in your life where you ever feel trapped, where you ever might feel that draining energy, where you ever might feel so resistance filled to going to the office or going to work, or, you know, I'm going to speak into being in a relationship that doesn't support you, recognize that you have a conscious choice. And ask yourself, what is the choice, or what are the choices that are available to me, and who am I ready to be or become in that? So I hope that this episode inspired you, perhaps gave you what you needed, perhaps started to put some puzzle pieces into place, or as I like to call it, pops the popcorn in the mind. And I would love for you to join me in my masterclass on Friday, The Rich Life, because I'm going to expand your realm of possibilities. Whether or not, again, maybe you don't have that wanderlust travel bug like I had, but maybe you're just ready to create more freedom for yourself. Maybe you're ready to just stop feeling trapped in regards to the capped income that you feel from your career, and you're ready to start creating a side hustle or work on passion projects that can result in additional streams of income, or start to set up passive income channels, or just start to give yourself more of what you desire to have. You are going to get so much from this masterclass, and I cannot wait to see you there. So I'm sending you so much love wherever you're at. Know that wherever you are is the perfect place to be. And I love you, and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye.